Everybody, welcome back to Spurs 9501. This is Ray in London. I've got Cam in, well, I don't know, where are you now? You still in Florida?
I am
You're
absolutely in
back in Florida,
Florida.
yeah.
Yes, just moved
So
home.
this is an end of season chat we're gonna have because the season's over. We were Europa Cup winners, which is amazing, but we lost our league form has gone terrible. 22 defeats, I think now. I want to talk to Cam about what he thinks about the win and also what he thinks about the future. Is Ange going to stay or go? What is his thoughts? And what's the future for Tottenham, really? So, Cam, I'm going to ask you a question again. Firstly, I know you did a great video on the win for Europa League. Now you've had a few days to think about it. Have any more thoughts on the actual the scale of the achievement of winning something after 17 years? Put that into words for our viewers.
Very hard to. I mean, I think really the most thing is it's 41 years if we're going to talk about Europe rather than the sort of
Yeah,
like now the Carabao Cup, which in those days was a Mickey Mouse Cup. It's taken a lot more importance since, but
mm,
17 years ago, people just used to look down at it as a piece of junk. As we say, fashion jewelry rather than real
yeah,
silverware.
yeah, yeah.
But yes, but within a Europa League, it's something which is pretty massive success, and I think it is historical. I think what Ange managed to achieve is write himself into legend to become part of this club's history, and it's something that his name will always be associated
Mm.
with. But in the hundreds of years going forward, that in itself is no mean achievement because in the history of this club since 1886, we've only won a European competition three times. Put
That's
that into
amazing.
perspective. Yeah. Arsenal have never won a European competition. Look at it that way. Right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
even
right. Yeah,
better, isn't it?
that's
So
even better.
yeah, I mean, we're still, I think, buzzing from it because it's something that we should be enjoying
Yeah.
and carry on enjoying. And it's great to see 220,000 people on the Tottenham High Street. I wish I was one of them. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I'm too far away. I did
Mm.
live there at one time, and it brought back a lot of memories.
But you were there in spirit. Now let me put something to you. People, obviously, this is to be expected, but I said this is first. The reason is they said it's a devalued win because, firstly, none of the teams from the Champions League came down, so it was a very weak Europa Cup. And secondly, they said the teams we beat were no good. There's hardly any teams we beat were good. We just even with the worst United team, Frankfurt were rubbish. Bodo were rubbish. Is this really something to celebrate or not? And was it really Ange's achievement, or is just we won it by default because everybody else was so bad? What do you think about that?
It's a bit of both. I think firstly you have to win whoever's in front of you.
Mm,
I mean the teams in front of us were absolutely awful. We avoided Roma, we avoided Galatasaray, we avoided Ajax, we avoided Fiorentina, we avoided the Greek clubs, we avoided the big German clubs apart from Frankfurt, and we avoided all the Spanish clubs. Imagine all those clubs that we did avoid:
yeah.
Atletico Bilbao,
Nap
Leon,
well,
all of those.
Napoli. I'm not sure if Napoli were there. I'm not sure. Were they?
No, no, Leon,
No,
we
Roma. Sorry,
avoided.
we avoided Roma, didn't
Roma,
we? Yeah.
Roma, yes. And we so yeah, a bit of that Aussie luck came into
Right. Well,
play.
yeah. I think you're right. You can
Massive
only
Aussie
beat.
luck because I think my view is that they looked at what the possibilities were, who we would face, who we could face, realized that they were going to be the specifically weak teams, and basically concentrate everything onto winning that league. If we were starting to play some serious contenders, some of the big European clubs, I think the strategy would have been completely different because you would have needed match fit players, and I think it would have been resigned to probably not winning. So yeah, look at it this way. I always look at it this way. Imagine having that kind of opposition that we had and we didn't win the cup. How bad a team would we be? How
Yeah.
bad would we have been if we'd got knocked out to Frankfurt, Bodo, or even this horrific Man United team
But
or AK
let me
Alkmaar?
let me put a scenario to you. If it meant losing the Europa Cup final, let's say we won the Europa Cup and it means another season of Ange. Would you rather that or we lose the Europa Cup and they fire Ange? Which one would you have preferred?
Think at the beginning I probably would have preferred that we lose and he gets fired, but I think that now that we've won and I can see the importance of winning, I'd much rather have it this way.
Hmm.
I think that if let's face it, this is a major achievement for the club. Doesn't matter about what it is; it's the fact that we've actually broken that hoodoo and
Hmm.
we've finally got a major trophy, and it's been such a long time coming. And as a club of this size, it needs to be to have that statement out there to all those fans that made fun of us from all the other clubs for being so Spursy, never winning anything, never ever winning anything. But what have you won? What have you won? Well, we won the Europa, so stick that
Yeah,
whatever you
no, that's
want
good.
to.
Yeah.
And that is something that we needed as fans, and then we are happy. Now, future, what does that hold? Premier League form, which is what we're here to talk about. Disgusting, appalling, and getting no better at all by any stretch of the imagination. So, in my view, this is it. We did it. Well done. Put up a statue for him. Give him a couple of extra million. Slap him on the back and say thank you. Go out on a high.
But slap him on the back. I know that's a good one. But the thing is, you see, he's proved himself. He said he's played weak teams. Does this theory work that I play weak teams in the league and I play strong teams in the cup? And he's won the cup. So it's proved it. We weren't going to do anything in the league. We were like 16, 17. Doesn't matter. Does it matter that we lost 22 games? What difference does it make? We won the Europa League. We're in the Champions League next year and we go again. Who cares if we
Uh,
lost 22 games? I'm just putting the other point of view. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that all the teams above us in the Premier League, given the teams that we had to play, apart from obviously Man United, would probably have won the Europa League given that opposition
Mm.
because they played better football than us. And I think but Brighton today outclassed us in every part of the field. We got a penalty. It was, it was a good penalty to get. It was clearly a penalty, but it was, against a run of play. Well, we did play quite well in the first few minutes, but I mean, after that, there was just nothing there. I
But I
mean,
mean,
Brighton ripped Spurs to pieces.
they probably haven't trained much. They had the parade, they had this, they had that.
Twenty-two
Is it
games
really a
though.
reflection on that? I mean, come on,
I think today you
hold on,
say,
they had to find 11 sober people to play. All the rest of them are pissed out of their brain.
okay, but I mean, what can you say about the rest of the whole of the
Yeah, this is
season?
true.
And the
This
other
is
thing
true.
is, you got 65,000 fans turning up to watch you play. They deserve better than that. They deserve
No,
a
I
better
agree. I
performance.
agree with that.
And
Yeah.
you're out a high. I mean, an adrenaline high after winning a cup like that. You'd think you'd put in a performance of your lifetime for your fans to prove that you're back and that you are a team that can hold it together. Because great getting into it's like the last three teams last year, Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton coming up, all being so ecstatic coming into the Premier League, totally unprepared and going straight back down again. I mean, how disappointing is that for their fans? And
Mm,
that's how I feel we are. Great, we're in the Champions League, but we probably won't even pick up one win in the Champions
yeah.
League with this form.
Mm.
Great that we are doing. We're back where there. Where are we going to be at the end of September? I wonder if we carry on this form into next year. Which, let me say, we carried on last year's form into this season because the back end of Ange's first season was pretty awful, and it
Mm.
carried straight on
Yeah.
into this season.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, what is okay? I'm going to put you in a very strong position. You're now Daniel Levy. You're the chairman of Tottenham Hotspur. What are you doing now? Tell us what you're doing now. We finished the season. We run the Europa League. We're in the Champions League. What are you going to do over the coming weeks? Tell us. If you're going to fire him, who are you going to bring in? That type of thing. If you get what players you're going to get rid of, what players you want to bring in. Give us a sort of a strategy moving forward.
I think we'll get rid of some of the players. I
Which
think a
one?
lot of
Give
our
me
players.
names.
I think Tell should go back.
Yep.
I think Werner's obviously
Well, he's
history.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what's happening with Romero. I don't know if Porro's going to stay because I mean he's been fantastic towards the back end of the season. Who will we be able to hold on to? Will Bentancur stay? We're going to lose some core players, in which case we will need very clearly to have a strategy who to bring in. I think Danso was a good signing. I think we've had some really good youngsters coming through that need to be promoted and kept in there. But I do think that this team, if it's going to play in the Champions League, is very, very sure. I think Richarlison should go. I don't think Solanke is going to cut it in the Champions League, and I think we need someone up front who knows what they're doing. How do we keep them fit? I think Son's probably on his last legs now. I mean, how long are we keep him? Great service to the team, and I'm so glad that he made it. Yes, put a statue up of him as well, but I think you cannot expect him to hit those heights of 20 plus goals a season. So, who is going to create the goals? Who is going to score the goals? And who is going to hold that midfield together? I think those are our weakest areas and our weakest links. And
Okay.
so far, I just don't see it happening.
So you've told us who you think should go, etc. Now tell us. Don't worry about whether they're going to come or not. Who would you like to see coming in to the team?
I
And
haven't
just
really
be
got
reasonable
any.
about this year. Just be reasonable.
I haven't got any real names, but let's see
Okay.
a proven striker.
What about Zubamendi?
Not going to come to Spurs, right?
Okay. But who would you want as if you're getting rid of Solanke, who do you want to come in as a striker then?
Proven striker. Uh,
There's
no,
not many of them around, are there?
no, there aren't. I mean, and that is a problem. But I mean, Delap is now going to. Is it Man United? I mean, that
Do
would
you
have
really
been a
think
good
Rory
signing as
Delap
well.
is a oh,
Compared
sorry,
to what
Liam
we've
Delap.
got,
Liam Delap is a
yeah,
yeah.
compared to what we've got. I mean, even the Brentford guy, Mwena's better than what we've got.
I would have
Um,
preferred I would have liked Matthias Cunha, but he was never going to come to Tottenham, was he?
No, I mean, it obviously, made it going to Man United. There are so many. We can get Garnacho is probably better than some of the players that we have.
Mm.
I mean, it's what we can get out of them. Rashford is probably a better player than what we have. It's how we manage them and how, what we get out of them. Man United have failed miserably in managing serious talent, and the only other team that has failed miserably in managing serious talent is Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah,
That's why we're both at the bottom of the
of the
of
league.
where
Yeah,
we are,
yeah. Can you
and
be how
that's what
embarrassing it is to finished 17th, whatever,
with
just
no
above the.
trophy.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me ask you. You're going to get. I don't need to ask you this, but I know already that you want to get rid of Ange.
It's not
In
going to
order,
happen though.
I know, but let's just see. Who would you like to see come in? Give me a few names, and don't give me some ones people haven't thought. I know people mentioned Frank and Ayarola and all this. Give me some names they may not have thought about. You think would be a good addition.
Well, I think the Brighton manager Hurst was pretty good today.
Hmm.
It's a manager that we have. We've always been talking about Silver at Fulham, haven't we?
Yeah.
Um, I think we should get a proven Premier League manager who knows what they're doing. Given the state of the club and the form of the club, I think someone who understands how the Premier League works and the piece of it, the fury of it, is going to be pretty important for us. So yeah, I mean,
What,
Ariola is a good manager. Will probably be our best bet right now.
what about Glasner?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, an Austrian manager, people might confuse him with being an Australian manager. I've heard that as well. That might be a bit too much.
Yeah,
But I
but
mean,
he's
is he
got
proven
experience of the
enough?
Champions League, hasn't he? Because he took Frankfurt into the Champions League.
Yeah, but I mean, we played Frankfurt. They were awful,
Yeah, I know,
right?
but this is a good Frankfurt team that he had before, wasn't it?
Yes. So I think, yeah, definitely. I mean, why would you come from Palace who are riding so much higher than we are with
Money,
the
I
FA
think that's the
Cup?
always reason. But let me ask
Yeah.
you one from really left field. Let's assuming Inter win the Champions League, which is not beyond the realms of possibility. What about would Inzaghi come to Tottenham with
No, but yeah, that would be
Paratici there
great.
now? Sorry?
No, but I don't think he would. I don't think any of those top managers will come to Spurs right now because I don't think we got the depth of players or the quality in our team. And seeing today what we put out and the players, I mean, we should have easily, even with some of the injuries, been able to put out a better team than what we put out today. Oh, they should have played a lot better than they
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I didn't watch the
Uh,
match. I couldn't. I just didn't want
I
to watch
mean,
anything overly.
4-1 it's embarrassing,
It's
isn't it?
embarrassing.
4-1
Yeah.
at home.
So
At
think about
home.
how many teams have done the double over us now, like Arsenal, Chelsea, and then Brighton, and there's some other teams that have done the double over us.
Nottingham
Crystal
Forest.
Palace, Nottingham
Nothing.
Forest. There's loads.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know who else has done the double, please put it in the comments. But
Oh, there's 22 losses. I mean, nearly everyone's done a double over
yeah,
us, haven't
that's
they?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people have done the double, but we are where we are, Cam. So let's see what happens. I mean, I
I think what's
think
going
so.
to
Basically, is
happen,
he going to stay or is he going? What's your gut
I
tell you?
think that Edge will stay because he wants to stay and because he'll probably get a new contract, so he gets more money. And so when he does finally go, he'll get a bigger payout. I think the thing is, he will get some new players in. I think by the end of September, he'll be gone.
Okay, okay. You
No
said that
different to
last
what
year.
happened with Pochettino. Pochettino got us to the final of the Champions League
Yeah,
and was gone 2 months later, three
yeah,
months
yeah.
later.
Okay, Cam. Final thoughts. We close off the call now and give us your final thoughts. Just a summary of the whole season, and then what to look forward to next season.
I think this season is called. We've got to call it the Great Escape. I mean, talk about pulling rabbits out of the hat. I think we finally in the Europa League at least and in the cups shed that Spursy tag. Got it back today against Brian with a 4-1 defeat at home.
But
But
reverted
at
to
least
type. Yeah,
we've got something to show for it. We've got Champions League with one of the poorest teams we've ever had. Winning with such a poor team is incredible in itself.
yep.
And I think that in itself is a major achievement. The league form don't lie. We are 17th for a reason. We've let in more goals than we have scored, finally. If that the table does not lie.
Mm.
That needs to be fixed for next season.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
it's going to be another miserable time for Tottenham.
Okay, and a final word to our I mean, we might do some podcasts over the off season,
Yeah.
if we get some news and all that.
I
But
mean, I'd
I
say
mean,
congratulations.
yeah, congratulations to everybody. Enjoy the win. It's a big thing, regardless
Congratulations
of
to
it's,
those who are under 41 who've never seen us win anything in Europe. I can't even remember last time we won something in Europe.
yeah,
I'm not that old.
yeah.
But I mean, it's incredible that we finally got something there. We got something in that trophy cabinet. Even Levy's now done what he's done. He's built the stadium. He's got a trophy. Now he can leave too.
Well, it gets him out of jail because he's actually won something now. But anyway, Cam, thank you for all your work during the season. Appreciate that. And hopefully, you be back for next season or not?
Absolutely, Dave.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I ain't going nowhere.
Okay. Well, come on, you Spurs, and we'll see you on the
Come on,
next
you Spurs,
podcast. If
and
there's
well
any
done.
news,
Congratulations, guys.
yes, if there's any news or anything happening, we'll definitely do a podcast. Thank you, everybody, and wishing you the best. Take care. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.